welcome to my live this evening or tonight. Um, hopefully I'm not flying. Sorry. Um, let me know if this is too bright, and I'll try to get a new LED light. Or might try something actually. Hey, will will. Okay, that should help a little bit tonight. Uh, don't forget, tomorrow I will be on live stream tomorrow during when doing the LSU softball game, and then next week I'll be on for the LSU baseball game. So let's go to God's presence and promise, and let's go to Matthew 6:25 through 24 or 23. Sorry. Therefore, therefore, I tell you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat or drink, or about your body, what you will wear. Is not life more than food, and the body more than clothes? Look at the birds of the air. They do not sow or drape or store away in barn, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not much not much more valuable than they? Can any one of you be worried and add a single hour to your life? And why do you worry about clothes? See how the flowers of the field grow. They do not labor or spin. Yet I tell you that not even Solomon in the split splendor was dressed like one of these. And tomorrow is thrown into the fire. Will he not must he must not more than clothe you, you of little faith. So do not worry, saying, what shall we eat, or what shall we drink, or what shall we wear? Some of y'all know what to wear tomorrow. Some of y'all know what to wear the next day. Some of y'all don't know what to wear. For the pigeons run after all these things, and your heavenly Father knows what you need or needed them. But seek the first kingdom of his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. Devotional. Um, I'll be. I won't be right back actually. In time, uncertainly, and which of you being excited or exhaust can add a single hour to a span of life? Matthew 6:27. Your biopsy results come back or came back, and both are basal called circum ceremony. I have no idea. The two spot in questions had appeared on my lower right leg a few months prior to a checkup with a new doctor. This is the person that's saying this. I was sitting alone on the edge of my bed that afternoon in mid January when she called to comfort I have skin cancer. The 2 weeks that follow brought appointment with my or with a dermatologist sharing the news with my parents and siblings and performing furious search online. Those weeks also brought some late night of staring at the ceiling, some tears over the what ifs and couldn't possibly control, and the researching hug of my husband and our son. I guess it's a woman that's saying that. Why am I diagnosed? Why am I cancers diagnosed for the most basic and easily removable from the uncertainty of it still brought worries. Yet I accomplished or anticipate uh, so my upcoming procedure. My helpless choice was to trust Jesus' advice. Take it one day at a time and don't borrow troubles from tomorrow. And in times of uncertainty, we can choose joy in the present instead of fear over the future and bless God as a result. We can let Him take care of each tomorrow. And since He loves us more than anything else in creations, what a great blessing. What a resurging gift. As you pray, thank God for today and tomorrow and hold both. Experience God's power and presence. I'll be right back. I shouldn't be. I shouldn't be drinking a pop. It's late night anyway, but you know I am. Psalm seven, Psalm 77. For the director of music for Judah of Asum of Psalms, I cry out to the Lord, or I try. Let me start over. I cry out to God for help. I cry out to God to hear me. When I am distressed, I sought the Lord at night and I stretch out uttering my hands, and I will not be comforted. I remember you, God, and I groan. I mentally meditate, and my spirit grows faint. You keep an eye from closing. You kept my eyes from closing. I was taught, or I was too troubled to speak. I thought about a few. I thought about the former days, the year a long ago. I remember my songs in night. My heart meditated and my spirit asked, will the Lord reject forever? Will he never show his favor again? He was unfailing love, vanished forever. He he has promised fail, or he is promised to fail for all the time. God has forgotten to be merciful. He is he has he in anger, wealth, health. his compassions, then I thought to this: I will appear these days when the Most High stretch out his right hand. I will remain, or I remember the deeds of the Lord. Yes, I will remember your miracles of a long for long ago. I will consider all your works. I will meditate all your mighty needs or deeds. Your way, God, are holy. What God is what is what God is great, or is as great as our God. You are the God who perform miracles in your display your power among the people. With your mighty arms, you redeem your people, the descendants of Jacob and Joseph. The waters you saw, or the waters saw you, God, the waters saw you and with right risen. The very depth your converse, the clouds poured down water, the heavens resound your thunder, your aerials, airs, arrows flash back and forth. Your thunder was heard in the whirlwind. Your lightning lit up the world. The earth trembles and quacked. Your path lead through the sea. Your way through the mighty waters. Through your footprints where not sin. Your lead, your people like flocks by the hand of the Moses of Aaron. Today's devotional of that, and after that, I'm going to tell you what my life has been. When you are depressed, I admit it, I struggle with depressions. In light of the biblical character who went through deep, dark times of discouragement, David, Jonah, Elijah, Job, Jeremiah, and all others, depression out to be a common topic of decision among Christians. Unfortunately, it's often seen as an abnormally, yet most human beings experience time of stress, bickering, and disagreement, and lack of a motivation that leads to breaking point or deep depression or deep despair. I went through a long period of feeling numb, exhausted, and un- undistressed until I finally pulled back, resetted, and began to see glimmers of hope. Such experience and not unusual in falling world. Scripture shows us every single one of our souls of the heartfelt cries that come out from them. One of the most cries in Psalm 77 is not only reveals human depressions, but also a way out of it. It teaches us how to bounce back when we hardly feel like bouncing at all. God doesn't offer a magical cure or one size fit of all such solutions. Depression is complex, and he helps people out in different ways because the Psalms offer some principal comments of all of them. As for the author of the Psalms, my cry out to God, for there we see an extremely sacrifice progress from crying out to recalling past blessing. Then ask God the hard question, choosing to recreate or reset your thoughts, choosing to see God as a big problem as small, and then trusting God to be our deliverer. The prospect shifting process retrain our brains and our spirits to think and see difficultly. When we work this through process into our lives, the depression very often begins to lift. Depression can feel cold, dark, tunnel without any light. At the end of it, it's easy for the mid to learn towards how bad things are and conclude that the future will be more of the same, only a rotations from the darkness to the light, from certain situation to the past mercuries, from problems to promise, can be bring us out like acid. We take a mental timeout and choose different thoughts. I will meditate on all your works and consider all you mighty deed. This will feel choice to re- recreate or read our thoughts. Rather, we feel like it or not, shift our perspective and darkness began to give away our light. That is it. Oh man, I'm hurting really bad. So God has done uh he's the one that did a miracle in me this past time for my gallbladder issue. Um he's the one that um brought me back to life pretty much. I want to tell you a story about my life and why what am I going through. So it was back in 23, 24. Was it 24? So we're in 26. Let me see. Was that 24 or 26? Let me see real quick. Okay, November 24th or 23rd, actually. So I had, so I went in the hospital end of October. I had a really bad headache. I couldn't get rid of it. I really couldn't get rid of it. I thought, or yeah, I had a headache completely. And I went in there, I went in the hospital for my headache, but it was getting worse and I couldn't stand it. So I needed to do something. So, um, I, we went in there, got some meds and, and it was, so we did all the tests, all of it pretty much. Um, and then I we went to the hospital, got admitted, and at this point, it was day three, day four. Day three, I was doing okay, and then I guess day four, I couldn't really eat anything. Like I couldn't drink any, or I could have still drunk or drink something, but I just couldn't eat anything. If I ate, it made me sick as a dog. So I stopped eating for about 4 months, or no, about 4 weeks actually. And now, um, so we did. Dr. Allen came in and told me, well, at this point, I had a big screaming fight with him, or I was pretty much just aggravating and stressing out at this point. I said, Dr. Allen, what do I do? I'm getting worse and worse and worse and worse. Oh, listen to me. And at this point, I started to cry because I never wanted to hurt my doctor like that ever again. But you know what? I stood up for myself. And I think God knew. God knew I was in stress. So I told Dr. Allen, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with this pain. I don't know what to do anymore. You gotta help me out. You gotta be on this team. You find listen. So he told me, okay, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna talk to I'm gonna talk to so at this point really I was just aggravating and stressing out and I really couldn't hear anything. They said, okay, we're gonna put you on a DMP or DMB or whatever it's called. It's IV nutrition, but well, around this time I was in the bone joint hospital, which is downstairs of the main hospital. So I went back up to the main hospital, and so they did a TMP and all that stuff. And the night or the day I went in there or went into the main hospital to my room, I we started it. Super nice nurses there. I still see them every time I go. Um, but what was really happening to me is um, it was so they did an MRI to see if it was my stomach bothering me. Turns out it was my gallbladder issue. I had a gallbladder problem, and I was like, great. And the well, his Dr. Allen's best friend said, if he's having this much pain back of his head, I think it's a gallbladder. You're dang right, it is a gallbladder. So we did the surgery, or we at this point we haven't done the surgery. So my platelets went down, so I couldn't do the surgery, and we did platelets, transfusion, all that stuff. Well, that night, here's what's crazy about that. The next morning, or the next afternoon, or whatever, we scheduled a surgery. We did all that stuff. We did it. Well, here's what's really my mom is still mad at this part, but um, we so I was his last patient, his last surgery of the night. So let me tell you, it was at um 11 o'clock when I went in. 11 o'clock at night. Let me tell you that it was 11 o'clock at night, and this surgeon, we me and my dad or me and my dad, me and my mom were both saying, "Are you sure? Are you sure you can work on me?" He said, "It's gonna be a simple surgery. I don't need to worry about anything." I said, "Are you sure? Are you awake to work on me?" "Oh yeah, I'll be fine." Not, no. Um, about 12:30 is when I went back to my room. 1:30, around that time. And the first night was horrible. It was really bad. I really couldn't like really do anything. Um, and remind you, the payments was every 2 hours. So the very first nights were 2 hours. So I got payments every 2 hours. And it was horrible. It was massive horrible. Do I want to go through that much pain again? No, because it was bad. It was horrible. Well, Dr. Allen came in at, I don't know, 6 because I think he knew he had a lot of people. Then here's what's really important about this. Dr. Allen came in that night at 1 o'clock in the morning to see me because he knew I was in so much stress and in so much pain. He wanted to see how I was doing at night. He was not he was treating me, but he was not there to to um to get me anything. He just wanted to show up as a best friend. And that's what doctors should do. Doctors should just come in to see how your patients are doing. Around this time yesterday, not yesterday, but the day after, the the Dr. Allen said there's still bio in your stomach. They also put a catheter in me, which I'm not supposed to have, and they put band-aids on me, which I'm not supposed to have either, because that night or that morning, that afternoon, I had giant blisters on my stomach because I'm allergic to adhesive. Apparently, not allergic to regular, but I'm allergic to adhesive. Adhesive, so it gives me bad blisters. So, um, so that night, uh, my heart rate went sky high. So I went into septic. My stomach got infected that night after the surgery because this idiot doctor, I forgot his name, but he spilled bio in my stomach, which is fluid from your stomach. Just spilled bio. They did they did uh 2 saline to clean me out. They should have done 4 salines. Yeah, both of you are watching this. Um, but uh, they spilled bio in my stomach. The next morning, the head surgeon came in and said, "You ready to go? You ready to go home?" Uh, at this point, I was, I think I had my payments before he came in, and I was looking at this doctor, and my mom said, "You got to be kidding me! This, this kid had just had major surgery and um and is now infected with this stomach. So change your attitude or get out. So, and he said, well, my mom said, we ain't going anywhere. We're staying right here. This boy just had major surgery on his stomach. You expect me to walk out in this hospital? No. This kid almost died, which I did, and then came back to life. You know what? God, God protected me in that surgery room and in that room because if it wasn't for Dr. Allen, I wouldn't be here today. And I don't talk about Dr. Allen a lot, but this time I will. And the doctor or the surgeon, whoever, walked out my room and slammed the door. My mom got up from her chair. Never seen that man again. Said, "Don't you ever come back in here." And the head, this was what crazy. The head supervisor came in, or not the head, but the head nurse, the supervisor nurse came in, and she said, "Is everything okay? I heard what happened." I said, "All I need is payments. That's it." He said, "Turn to her again." If it wasn't for God in that moment, if it wasn't for Dr. Allen, I wouldn't be here today. So, Dr. Allen, if you're watching this, thank you. And I'm still hurting. Now I have a different problem going on. I don't know what's going on. And now I have pneumonia. I still probably have pneumonia, but who knows? No one knows until I get an MRI done. That will conclude today's story. I'll finish it up tomorrow after LSU softball. I'll be back on here tomorrow at, let's see, so probably 11 or 10, 11, probably 11 or 12 again, like always. If you let me continue with this, tell you stories about me, how God is treating me the most wonderful, uh, wonderful life, then I will. Um, so yeah, tomorrow I'll be on at 6. No, probably at 5:58. Just to get it back in rehab or get it back in a rehab, getting back into a getting the headset on, getting into a rehab, getting a rehab in this, in this, and in the headset. Not actually in rehab, but you know what I mean. So go Tigers, beat NC State. Hopefully here pretty soon I'll have a green screen behind me so you can watch the game. Um, I want to try and do it like tomorrow, but I gotta get everything ready for that. But I'll give you an update on some scores tomorrow. Um, but yeah, I just lost again. But I'll see y'all tomorrow at 5:58 and hopefully do this again. and chapter and parts of my story. So I'll see you later, guys. Have a great night.